Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, we're going to talk about the final 11.5 patch notes, which was just released on the Battlestate Games Twitter via both the Beta EFT and the Battlestate Games Twitter. So if you want to go follow their Twitters to get the latest information, that's where to do it. In this video, we're going to cover the patch notes in a summary format. I'm going to group some of the items together to help speed it up because there are a lot of fixes in this patch. Talking about some of the larger notable items and some of the information I know about the issues that were behind them, because this is an optimization patch. And then lastly, I'll talk about all the added stuff to the patch notes that weren't in the pre-final patch notes. So guys, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So they wanted to start off with a public service announcement stating that 0.11.5 patch notes is the updated focus on fixes and optimizations, and is not only it's not the only and last fix optimization update. There's going to be more in the future, but it's one of the ones that's going to actually happen. Probably they usually do one optimization patch, a few content patches, and then they do it again. So it's just like over and over again. So just be sure of that. Now there's going to be no wipe with 11.5. They had stated in the podcast that there might be one with 0.11.7 or 12.0. So possibly the patch, like the next major patch after this, 11.7 or 12.0 will have the patch for sure, at least by that one. Now, the first topic is the optimizations. There are a lot of optimizations to fix stutters, including freeze fixes, scopes, nades, changing traders. So when you go in and out of your traders, there's that big long stutter, or even loading into them. Bullets and damage taken. So when you get shot, sometimes there's a stutter with that, and also hitting other people, they'll have a stutter. So that's to get rid of all that. Stutter freezes, excessive items on the screen causing stutters and lags. That's all being worked on to help improve. Last time they did something like this was in 10.2, and there was a great, like a massive improvement. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, when you ADS and you've got a scope, particularly say a good example is the one when you get the AK-103 from Terra Labs. When you get that scope on that one, I think it's called the Velde. As soon as you ADS on that one, there's a big stutter, and it usually happens once, and then for about 5 or 10 minutes later, when you go to ADS again, it'll happen again. So that's meant to be on the fixes in the optimization patch. So that's good. We need that kind of stuff because it makes combat more smoother and fluent, which is what we want. They've also added to these patch notes, they've fixed freezes caused by bundles loading. No idea what that means. And reduced freezes caused by AI spawning in. It's been pretty common that if you get a random stutter at a random point, sometimes it's scavs spawning in or raiders spawning in. And that's also been reduced with this optimization patch. Now moving into the AI improvements, the fixed AI behavior on peeking via the Alt-Q/E method. So this was done by going behind a wall, you hold down Alt and then press Q and E depending on which way you wanted to step out, and the scavs or raiders would identify you as still being behind the wall and not engage, but you would be able to see out enough to be able to shoot them. I think Deadly Slow was probably one of the first to stumble across this. He didn't actually think that it was an exploit or a bug at the time, but he was soon discovered after he actually started doing it that it was actually scavs weren't shooting at all. So this has been improved. I'm sure you've seen in the past plenty of times that AI have either just stood in front of a door, breached it the wrong way, also ran through doors. That is now being fixed up on the AI improvements. They've balanced the AI difficulty as well. So no idea if this means they're going to be harder or easier. In the past, they seem to make things easier, but I hope they've actually made it a little bit more difficult, particularly on scavs. We're so used to raiders now wrecking us all the time. I'd actually prefer to have scavs just that little bit more difficult, and then have the raiders slightly less difficult, particularly if we're going to start going to the method of using keycards to get in there. Now, when I say less difficult or more difficult, I actually want to go down the path of them playing smarter and not more aim bossy. But we'll have to just wait and see where that goes. I've spoken about it in the past, but I actually don't think they need to tweak the how often they headshot and stuff like that. That's kind of in a good state, in my opinion. They just need to work on how they interact with the environment and the situations involved. So, for example, when they're more difficult, I hope that they're bringing more scavs to attack you, or more raiders will swarm you at the time using the AI instead of just aimbotting. They've modified the AI system in Horde mode. No idea what kind of modification this is. I'm sure a few of us will test this out because Horde mode is actually a lot of fun to do in offline mode to help work on your quick reflexes. If you're new to the game, definitely go into an offline mode, particularly Factory with Horde mode on, Cursed and Crazed or whatever it's called. Go in with your best gear and just try and see how many scavs you can kill. It's a really good way of practicing taking on multiple enemies really quickly with zero risk of losing your gear. They've added some new scav taunts. Excited to hear what these are. We're all starting to get into the point where we start loving these taunts. So hopefully there are some goodies in there. They've modified the raider spawn on labs, so I'm guessing this is going to be putting them in different locations, not just the ones we're getting used to. Because I'm starting to get into a pattern where I can kind of tell some of the major points that they spawn at, and I've actually found places where you can rush them down and kill them as they're spawning in. So that's always good to make it so it's let's say more balanced overall. AI will no longer see through the elevators. They did already do a fix for this in the previous patch 11.2. I found that 2 of the elevators were fixed, but the other one was not fixed, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that will be fixed. It'll be probably the one next to the hangar gate. There's some elevator there that they can still shoot you through sometimes. But yeah, all these are working in the right direction. AI no longer falls through the floor after death. Now, in labs, this happens on all the ramps. If you shoot the raiders on the ramps at the extracts of parking and hangar gate, they will fall through them. And also on customs dorms, they sometimes fall through the steps. I'm sure there's other locations. Hopefully, it's all of them fixed. But yeah, that's another good thing. This is probably one of the coolest next AI improvements, which is AI will no longer attack if you kill the player scav who attacked you while playing as a scav character. So previously, if I was a player scav, someone else was a player scav, I shoot the other player scav, but then he returns fire on me. All scavs will now shoot both of us. So only the aggressor will get killed by the actual other scavs, and the defending person can actually still play as a normal scav to stop that scav on scav violence. So that's always good. New to this patch notes is to fix a bug that caused AI to be inactive offline. Haven't seen this personally. Fix various places where AI could get stuck. There's heaps of these locations, so that's good. Fix delay of the activity of the AI during combat. So effectively, if someone's or the AI are just standing there watching you for a while, and then they'll enact on you. So that's always a good thing. Making it more smoother and less jerky would also be nice. So I think it'd be actually, hopefully this would actually go down the lines of, you know, when you shoot a scav from a bit of distance, and as you shoot, they move like 15 meters, like, I don't know, like a sprinter, instantly teleporting pretty much 15 meters, and it's like, how do they dodge that bullet and get 15 meters away, like the reaction time. So hopefully that works on that too. And then also fixed other bugs within the AI behavior when changing body position. So I'm guessing this is under the way of going prone, unprone, and stuff like that with the scavs. Now moving over to fixes, there are a lot of fixes. I'm just going to highlight some of the major ones. They fixed a bug where the player could drop an object through the floor. Now previously, we used to insure our items whenever there was, you know, your mate dies, you'd chuck the items through the floor, and then no one would be able to get them back, but you could. Your mate would get them back from insurance. There are still spots in the game that you can throw these items that are unobtainable through the floor. So therefore, they've found some of these locations and fixed them. Always good. Fix a bug with the desynchronization of ammo type, which in some cases would lead to 0 damage to the scav. This is actually referring to the previous video, to my understanding. I know when I made that video, a few people contacted me. It's to do with the round getting chambered. It's not identifying the round chambering in the bolt action of the Mosin. So I know a lot of people commented on my previous video about the non-reg happening with the shots. This one is, I'm fairly confident, is aimed at the bolt action not chambering the round properly. So that is always good. No one wants to be able to shoot a round, get a hit, think they've shot the round, given away their location, but not actually done any damage for it. Fix a bug of treatment animation loop without effect. So that's when, you know, you just see like the bandage going around over and over again. That's fixed. Fix a bug where the bots could run through doors. Multiple times I've seen a scav or a raider sprint at the door, they run through it, you shoot them on the other side, but then they teleport back through. But they sometimes do shoot you through the door, which is really trippy. So that bug's been fixed. Fixed a bug where the helmet remained in perfect condition after killing the player in the head. Now, Nikita said during the last podcast that when a player gets shot, sometimes it doesn't even register the helmet being there, and this is an issue that they found. kind of to do with like the armor glitch that most people have been talking about, even though we can't replicate yet. They found an issue with the helmet, so that's always good that they found those kind of things, because why spend 100,000 rubles on an awesome helmet that's not even protecting you? Fixed a bug where scavs spawned scavs were invisible. I don't know about if this is actually just normal scavs or player scavs, because I have in the past, I'm talking probably 3 to 6 months ago, been able to go into a raid where I've been completely visible to other players and I've been a scav. Just nothing really out of the ordinary occurred. I just seemed to be able to run around invisible. So this happened a couple of times, and yeah, so they fixed a bug which involved that, which is good. Fixed a bug where with infinite looting sound when killing a player that was looting. So I'm sure you've experienced this, where a player was looting it from a crate. You kill them, and you just get that typewriter noise of a crate being looted. I don't understand why a weapon crate or an ammo trunk or whatever sounds like a typewriter. Like that top of the typewriter when it moves left and right. I don't understand why it sounds like that. It sounds real weird to me. Various fixes in the logic of the quest. I'm going to leave that there. Let's see where that goes. Hopefully there's some really good changes to be had. Various fixes of the LED culling at locations. Now, I've found a few locations, particularly in Terra Labs, where I've been able to go up against a door, lean up against it, and then the whole map goes invisible and I can see players and that. This is hopefully one of those fixes. It's a bit of a weird one. I've only found like 2 locations that did it, and hopefully they've been fixed. I'm pretty sure I haven't touched it in ages. I just reported it and then forgot about it. So hopefully that's been done. Fixed several problematic loot spawn locations. I think this might do with something like the LEDX spawn underneath the forklift in the dome tent, stuff like that. I think this will probably move some of the items so you can make it more accessible to loot. Now, there's a lot of new fixes added to this patch note. I'll skim through them and explain as many of them as I can, as quickly as I can. Fix post-match statistics not appearing in offline mode. If you've done an offline raid, sometimes you'll finish the raid and it won't show you any statistics. That's kind of annoying when you're trying to figure out some stuff with testing. Fix the glitch where you were able to use items from a chest rig, which was put in a secure container. Obviously, some sort of glitch using meds or whatever item it is, might be a grenade. Fix a bug with insurance reset, which occurred in some cases after matching cancel. Sometimes you'll actually reinsure an item. You'll go into a raid or cancel the raid, and then the item didn't actually get insured. That was an annoying thing. I think that's already been fixed, but this might be something to do with that as well. Fixed volume of sound and sound distance of glass breaking. Multiple people have seen me do this. If I want to wake up people, I just go into the middle of shoreline. If you go into shoreline with some mates, and particularly near the overpass, grab yourself a shotgun, shoot the glass out, and the whole bloody raid can hear it. It's deafening, and it's a really funny thing to do to your mates. Go give it a crack if you want before they fix it. Fixed a bug with periodic non-return of insured items. Sometimes some items weren't returning it. I'm under the impression. I've spoken about this in the past. I don't know if it's definitely to do with that, but that's my impression there. Set an item icons when dragging. Sometimes you'll try and drag an item from anywhere onto another spot, and your mouse will move off the item, so it keeps it centered. Fix the sticking of a selected state of item / weapon in quick access bar. No idea what that is. Fixed a bug which caused melee attacks without stamina burn. Wish I knew how to do this. That'd be pretty cool to be able to smack people faster with your hatchet. Fixed inability to change screen resolution during the raid. Well, that's good, because I change my resolution all the time, but I didn't even realize that was an issue. Fixed incorrect display of approximate difficulty of the location. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but as you level up to a higher level, certain locations on the actual map loading screen actually says the difficulty changes. I don't even know why they bother writing the difficulty. It makes no sense. All the maps are hard. The game's hard. If you're new to the game, it's harder. If you've played the game a long time, it's less harder. That's just how it is. Correct display and fixed visual bug in night vision sights. Sometimes the night vision sights weren't getting very good eye relief. I'm under the impression it might be to do with that. If not, it might be to do with aiming of them. Let's just wait and see. Fixed 3D object preview in the handbook. If you go into the handbook down the bottom, just a little side note, if there's a number there, click the number. You can actually clear all the items that are in the handbook that are highlighted. I know I get that question a lot. Go to the handbook. You can actually see the items in 3D, which is cool. Fix the visual bug causing black strips in the optics. I haven't seen this personally, but it's good to go. Fix glowing of the ballistic glasses. This is a really annoying thing. You could put on those cool goggles or any of the ballistic glasses. Halfway across the map, you can see that just glaring glow. It's really random. Don't know why it does it. Ballistic glasses aren't meant to shine like that, but it's good they got a fix for it. Fixed a bug related to the meds binding and the inability to use them in the raid. Sometimes you'll put your meds, you'll bind them, go into a raid, they won't be able to be used. I haven't had this happen personally, but there are bugs out there saying it. Fixed various fixes in post-match statistics. I haven't actually really looked into the post-match statistics into extreme detail. The only one that I know that's always wrong to me is the accuracy. It always just says 0.2, I think. Around 0.2. So, even if you have a 100% hit rate. Fixed bugs which cause bullet sponge kills related to blood loss. I haven't actually seen this personally. I don't really understand it. Sure. Fixed bug related to outdoor sound setting when you spawn inside buildings. This happens, I think, was it on Interchange? No. There was a map where you spawned inside. Actually, I think it's customs. You go to customs where you spawn inside the factory with the factory key spawn. You go outside, it still sounds like you're standing inside. It's this weird bug. It's been around for a while. I'm actually surprised it's only just been fixed. Not really that surprised. Fixed several bugs related to smoke grenades. I haven't really been playing around with smoke grenades recently. But yep, sure. And also fixed bad loot spawns. Fallen through items, etc. I don't know if you've noticed, but in Interchange, where all the cats and lions spawn, they've all seemed to be spawning inside the actual shelf, inside other items beneath them. I've only noticed it more recently in the last month, so hopefully those ones will be fixed, because people are probably missing out on a lot of lions and cats that they could have been looting. They've added new PMC spawns in the labs, which is good, because there seems to be a lot around that level 2 lab area. They need to spread them out more, which would be really handy. Ability to delete messages in chat. That's going to be sweet. I've got a heap of messages I just don't need. It'd be cool to just purge all them. New that have been added to these patch notes. Added new item filtration system in the merchants menu. Means you'll be able to use those side buttons to be able to filtrate. You'll be able to sort the items better, to be able to sort through them. Added the ability to examine items in interface with the middle mouse button. While this is a really cool addition, just to be able to examine quickly, I actually think it would be better every time you unlock a trader, say you're level 1, every item on the level 1 traders are just automatically examined. And then say you can examine anything that's above that, but say you do unlock Prepare level 2, every item from Prepare level 2 just automatically gets examined. They can give you the XP that way too, I don't really care. I just don't understand why you have to sit there at the very start of a wipe or anytime you're leveling up and have to examine half the items that you've got from your trader. I understand it's cool to see a new item, and when there's no more wipes, you only have to do it once, but I still think it's a bit of a waste of life. Added save selected filters checkbox in the flea market filter setting. So when you go into the flea market, there's that top bit where you can set the filtrations. You can actually set certain saved filters, which will make it easier to go back to whatever filters you want. So I know a lot of people get ripped off with dollars, and I would want to make sure that I can always search in rubles and fuck off the dollar option. Added new loot spawns on locations. Hopefully there's a heap of new cool loot spawns. Maybe even an arsenal storage key location. That would be kind of handy. Moving into change. I'm trying to belt feed this out, guys, as quickly as I can. We're up to the last one. Added the ability to quickly cancel the offer after placing it. I know you guys would be frustrated through your mind after you put up an item for a stupid price or in bulk and you just want to cancel it. The ability to cancel it is now going to be there. The rain sound is now quieter. Oh my god, I don't know what they did, but recently they just turned rain on all the time, and it is deafening sometimes. Sound for the rain is going to be quieter. It's a massive quality of life improvement just for being able to play the game. Reduce the amount of health loss from exhaustion and dehydration. If your stomach blows out, you get dehydrated, you'll lose your health really quickly. You used to be able to heal through it. Up until recently, you haven't been able to. This will probably put it back onto the balance where you'll be able to heal through it until you either find some water or get some energy back, and then be able to extract the raid safely. Completed the alignment of mechanical sights. This will hopefully be better for me aiming down mechanical sights. Let's just wait and see. We'll do the testing on that. Reduced accuracy of hipfire due to the weaker weapon grip. I wish they would change hipfire to a different word. We don't really hipfire in this. This is more like a combat ready stance, because you're not actually having the weapon down at your hip as much. It's more kind of sitting up higher in like a combat ready stance. So yeah, alright, the hipfire might not be as accurate. That's all good. But generally this game doesn't really have a hipfire. It's more of like a point shooting. A lot of people talk of it. That's just the military side of me coming out. But yeah, weapon grip, I think hipfire accuracy is probably too accurate. I think the whole game's too accurate. You could like make the game 50% less accurate, and you'd probably still be struggling to make it close to realistic when it comes to accuracy of weapons, particularly on full auto. The improvements of the in-raid stamina system, they made it changes towards the how the stamina system is going to work. I kind of think that when you get shot, you're taking too much of a hit to stamina. I feel like once you take 2 to 3 bullets at the moment, you lose all your stamina. I don't know if that's intended and if that's what's going to be part of the changes. Yeah, I don't really have any more realism argument in me anymore. I just think this game's a game and immersive. So I think it'd be a better, more quality of life that if you got shot, you'd be able to actually sprint for a few steps before you hit the deck. But let's just see what happens with that change. Increase level of detailed distance for armbands. Ever since the armbands went into the game, they were used for about 2 weeks, and I really have barely seen an armband since. If this does work cool, that's actually going to be a cool little feature if you can actually see an armband from like, I don't know, a couple 100 meters away. But let's wait and see. Obviously, that would be through a sight. Changes aimed at localization and reducing the problem with late spawns. Let's just see how this goes. Every time they say they do a fix to late spawns, I don't really notice any changes. I think there should be more of a wait somehow into going into the game beforehand, so then everyone spawns together. Or just make it that if you haven't spawned by a certain time, make it so you can't spawn together. So what my example would be, make the game so you load the map, you're ready to go. Once you've loaded the map, put everyone in a lobby together, as in the game internal. You won't actually see this. And then when there's max players reach, launch the game. If there's not max players reach, say it's going to launch with 5 players, leave it at that. After that point, no one else can spawn into the game. Even if they're slower computer, they should have already made that point. That's why they've got the map loaded. Once the map's loaded, the rest of the loading isn't that far away. I think it's just obviously the loading as well. There needs to be some changes to that because it's really frustrating having late spawns. Being someone late spawning in, it could be really detrimental to someone having the opportunity to be able to get a key or an item they're trying to farm down or chase down, or if they're trying to get into a position, particularly say on a map like Factory, you can get into really good positions before other people because they spawn 20 seconds late. It's war losing, what do you call it? You know, you lose the war over it. So anyway, moving on. This is new to the patch notes. Reduce the distance of looting and unlocking door sounds. I don't know if you've noticed, but you can hear those weapon crates being looted from ages away. Also, a door unlocked from pretty much one side of dorms to the other. So I don't know how loud you open a door in real life, but if you've got one key and you open a door, it should barely make a noise, to be honest. And they've also removed the antique axe being added as a melee weapon from this patch. It's going to be moved over to 11.7. Alright guys, I've really belt fed this out. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to get all that information out to you guys in the shortest period possible, because I know a lot of you guys like to listen to this stuff instead of reading it. They chuck it in your pocket, listen to it while you're driving to work or something like that. So guys, thanks for watching another video. I'm going to be putting out my new player map guide to customs. First thing in the morning. I'm going to finish making it tonight and then export it tonight. So then I can wake up and post it first thing in the morning. So guys, to finish up, thanks for watching another video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for future content. I stream on Twitch pretty much 7 days a week. Go down the link below. Give me a follow over there if you've got any Tarkov questions or you want to discuss this stuff. Feel free to hit me up on my live stream or down in the comments below. And lastly, I'll see you next time. We are the youth of the nation. We are the youth of the nation.